And within the past year, I think I've seen the most growth, mainly because I just stopped doing styles with my hair. When I used to have loose natural hair, I used to do so many different styles. I was doing styles all the time. When I got locks, just something clicked inside of me that just changed, and it just feels a lot more free to let your hair be free. So a lot of people ask me, like, how did my locks get so thick from how they were when I first started? I know some people even commented saying that my hair looked so shiny when I had it in my starter locks, in my two-strand twist, that they didn't understand how I was supposed to turn them into locks. But here I am 2 years later, and I think mostly it is because hey y'all, welcome back to Holistic Flow. I am your girl Lolo. In this video, I know it is a little late, but I'm giving you all my 2-year Loc Journey update. And I say that it's late because I hit 2 years in November of 2022. So in this update, I'll just talk about the changes that I've gone through in the past year since my 1-year update, kind of like a full, more holistic view of my everyday routine, what products that I use, what has changed about the products that I use, how I use my products, and what I've all together learned about my hair within the past year. So to keep watching, stay tuned. But before we get into it, if you are new here to my channel, hello. Here on Holistic Flow, we are creating a safe space, a space for self-love, self-growth, and maturity, and we're taking a journey towards an overall better mind, body, and spirit connection. So if you're with that, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, turn on your notifications so you know whenever I upload a new video. After you've done that, thank you so much, and let's get into it. So when I first started my journey back in November 14th, 2020, I had 74 starter locks. I started with 2-strand twists, and the way that I started my locks was parting in a like brick layering system. So bricks, when you think of a brick building, the way the bricks are laid on top of each other in rows is like you put down one row, and then in between the brick you have a window, a section where you kind of stagger the bricks. So my parting was like a brick layering parting. I staggered my parts because when I did some research here and there, said that your locks can lay and look a bit fuller when you stack them like that. So if you maybe haven't started locks yet and are thinking about starting locks, and you're watching this because you're trying to figure out something about how you may want to start them, maybe think about brick layering if you want your locks to look fuller. Now, I can't really look back and see maybe what my hair would look like if I didn't do any type of parting, if I just did random, but I'm pretty sure it probably made a difference, but maybe not a huge difference. When I started my locks, I had 74 locks on my head. Now, since I've, been throughout my journey, I've combined 4 of my locks into 2 locks. So I now have 72 locks. And if you want to see the video of me first combining my locks, or actually a better video is a journey throughout like me combining my locks and what I learned about it. And then I'll put that YouTube short up here in the card section so you can look at it. So now I can say that I have 72 locks. I'm very confident about the size that I started off with. I did not expect them to be this thick moving forward. And then I also think that the amount of locks is that I have on my head is very healthy medium for somebody who this is like my first set of locks. For me, it feels fairly easy to maintain and low maintenance. However, I will say that the longer that your hair gets, the more maintenance and products that you will take and use. So first and foremost, I don't have a set routine. When I first started my locks, I did used to retwist my locks. So within the first 5 months, from maybe November to May, I retwisted maybe 5 times. So I started retwisting like every month, right? And then I spread it out to maybe like every month and a half, and then every 2 months. So after that month of May, then I just stopped retwisting May of 2021. So in between that, I only retwisted about 5 times. And when I did, sometimes when I was first starting off, I did use Jamaican mango and lime gel. I later realized it was not for my locks because I got caked up, buildup, and it was just icky and sticky. And it was kind of hard to get out of my locks. So I don't recommend using that. Hopefully maybe they changed their formula, I don't know. But after I used that, I had switched to retwisting with aloe vera gel, which if you are about to start your locks or starting your locks and you're wondering what you want to retwist with, maybe consider aloe vera gel. It has a considerable amount of hold, more so than oil or water, which is what a lot of people use if they want like a more organic feel. However, if you have thicker locks, you probably want to use something with at least some hold. So that is why I used aloe vera gel. Now, the reason why I stopped retwisting my locks was, number one, it just took too freaking long. I was there, my arms hurting for like 3 hours, clipping them on, and then they unravel, and then I have to clip them back. And then for undoing all that for my personal retwist to only last about a little less than a week. Now that was my experience. Your experience might be a little bit different, but I personally chose to stop retwisting because I felt like if I stopped retwisting, my locks would feel just like more free. It would be a more organic experience with not like shaping and forming my locks into how I wanted it to look. I turned out that it was right. Like once I stopped retwisting my locks, it was a more freeing experience. I also had a lot more time on my hands, and I'm a lot more happy with the way that it looks, even though that may not exactly be the point. I mean, somewhat, right? We all care somewhat about what we look. However, it's I'm sort of a plain Jane, so I kind of let it do its own thing. What I do though is I braid my new growth into my locks, and I literally just made a video about that last week or maybe 2 weeks ago. So you can go back and look at that video. I'll put it here. I'll just show a clip from it. I'll take the new growth that I acquire over a couple of weeks, and then I just braid it into my locks, and that helps me prevent my locks thinning, and as well it just organizes my hair and where it wants to go. If I don't do that, the new growth, it will turn into probably extra baby locks or like freeform locks. So with moisturizing and washing my hair and everything else that involves maintenance, I don't have a set routine. One thing I've learned throughout this journey is that in the past year, I've gotten away from, you know, making sure I wash it literally every 2 weeks on the dot, or making sure I'm brushing my locks every week, or misting it with water every week on the dot. But now I've just learned to do everything as needed. And that's helped me be a lot more vigilant with my locks. I wake up every morning, look in the mirror, see if they needed to be brushed, if they have some lint stuck in there, I'll brush it out. If I touch them and they feel a bit dry, or if I look at my scalp and it looks a bit dry, I can see some flakes coming in, then I'll spray it with my mist, which I'll talk about in a little bit. But overall, I've learned that once you get out of such like a strict schedule with your locks, if that is what suits you better, it becomes a lot more of a freeing experience, and I'm not worried so much about my routine. But I will say, if you are somebody who maybe goes to the gym often and sweats, and maybe you have dry scalp or a certain scalp condition, it may be more suitable to be vigilant about how often you wash or how often you moisturize. Because maybe you're somebody who needs to be on a schedule, who needs to do something every Wednesday or every Friday, or once a week or once a month, and you need to keep track of that. But me, not so much. Another thing I've learned about my locks within the past year is that after they get through the maturation phase and they're pretty much mature all the way down from root to end, it's pretty easy to see your growth. Within the first year, usually people don't see much growth, if at all. If anything, they see a lot of shrinkage, or they'll see like growth, shrinkage, which is what I saw. and still do see, but I saw more so in my first year. So when your locks are trying to mature, they're constantly expanding, and they may look thicker and fluffier one day, and then the next day they may contract or constrict or whatever that word is, and they may look smaller. And that's just a part of our hair trying to tangle up, twist up within each other, and become a matured lock. But once that maturation phase happens all throughout consistently from the root to the end, except for your new growth, then it becomes a lot easier to see that growth, because this maturation is a solid lock. So once your new growth comes in, it just adds to the solidity of the foundation, which is your locks. And within the past year, I think I've seen the most growth, mainly because I just stopped doing styles with my hair. When I used to have loose natural hair, I used to do so many different styles. I was doing styles all the time. And I got really bored with my hair if I didn't do anything with my hair within the next month. But something, when I got locks, just something clicked inside of me that just changed, and it just feels a lot more free to let your hair be free. So a lot of people ask me, like, how did my locks get so thick from how they were when I first started? I know some people even commented saying that my hair looks so shiny when I had it in my starter locks, in my 2-strand twist, that they didn't understand how I was supposed to turn them into locks. But here I am 2 years later, and I think mostly it is because I just wear my hair out all the time. If I'm going to work as a stretch therapist on the side, or my yoga teacher jobs, I go and I have my hair in a little ponytail or in a high bun. But after I get home, I take that bun out, I take that ponytail out because my hair is getting heavy, and then I just let it loose. A lot of people in their starter lock phase, especially if they have starter locks that are like shorter, like above their eyebrows or something, they use wave caps or do-rags on their hair at night. Anytime in your starter lock phase, your locks want room to expand, and our cells regenerate in our sleep. We're literally growing when we sleep. And so if you are wearing something in your sleep that is compressing your hair to your head, likely it will be that your locks may start to get flat, or you may see that they are not getting as fluffy as you would like them to. That might possibly slow down the maturation phase. Your locks aren't able to move as freely throughout the night when they are compressed to your head. So instead of a do-rag at night or a wave cap, I would actually recommend a bonnet, or a bonnet. I was gonna say silk pillowcase, but in a video before I said how a silk pillowcase is good, but only like as a backup. So if you use a silk pillowcase, I recommend a bonnet and a silk pillowcase together. The reason being is because when you use a silk pillowcase, think about like you putting your hair on the pillowcase and then you're moving around at night. We don't wash our hair every day, so most of the time our hair is actually dirty. You wash your face every day, right? But you don't wash your hair every day. So your face is clean. Boom, you go on to bed, you put your hair on the pillowcase, and then you turn around and your face touches all the dirt that your hair put onto the pillowcase. So I don't recommend just a silk pillowcase. Silk pillowcases are very beneficial for your skin. However, sanitary wise, they don't make much sense to me to only use by themselves. So that's why I recommend both of them. Now really quickly, a lot of you all have subscribed to my Holistic Fit Meditation YouTube page, and I greatly appreciate you for that. I was giving a lot of helpful information on there, but I felt like I wanted to reach you all a little bit better. So if you want to deepen your meditation practice, I've curated these Holistic Fit Meditation memberships for you. When you become a member, you get access to live stream guided meditations with me Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And it's geared towards those who want to enhance their journey toward a better mind, body, and spirit connection. So we'll focus on breath work, body scan meditations to be more aware of the body and sync the breath and the mind and the body together. Relieve pain and tension in the body and mind, and enhance your focus and concentration. So we can really get clear about our goals in life, our vision, so we can move forward without so much mental clutter. Plus you get bonus community Q&A calls and wellness talks every month. So you can go ahead and check that out by clicking the link below to become a member, or you can just go to my website at holisticfitmeditation.com, and I hope to see you practicing soon. So I talked about the method where I do my maintenance. I braid my new growth into my locks. That's pretty much the only thing I do for maintenance. I used to also do a lot of braid outs and twist outs probably before my first year started, probably when I was in the 9 and 10 month stage. Since then, I don't think I have done many braid outs or twist outs at all. Maybe once within the past 6 months, one twist out. But I braid my hair, my new growth, into my locks, and I do that once a month. But the reason why I do that is because I don't want to do it every single time. I just want to give my hair a break sometimes, and it just feels like the right amount of time to do it. So I only do it once a month. I'm getting into deep cleansing my hair with apple cider vinegar rinse once a month or once every 2 months. So I use Free the Roots apple cider vinegar rinse, and I use that every time I want to deep cleanse my hair. Usually when I'm just doing a regular wash, I'll lather, rinse, and repeat. But whenever I'm doing a deep cleanse, I'll lather, rinse, and repeat 3 times, and then use the apple cider vinegar rinse on my locks. And I have a video of that routine. I have a video of almost everything by now. I'll put it right here. So I started getting into this because I realized that like a lot of us probably have buildup in our locks that we can't see, especially if you have thick locks. We probably have buildup of lint that we can't see, that's like deeply embedded inside, product buildup, even if we don't use as many products before. And even when we do have dry scalp or dandruff and then we, wash that out in the shower, sometimes the flakes can fall into our locks and get trapped in there. So a lot of the times we can do these rinses and it'll bring those buildup to the surface of our locks so that we can get that deep cleanse. Before, I didn't do any apple cider vinegar rinses because I figured that I didn't need it because I didn't really use many products or gels, or I just use like mists, which I'll get into in a little bit. But I realized that there can be buildup that I don't see. But I didn't want to use like really harsh apple cider vinegar and baking soda and like lemon, because I feel like that was really harsh on my locks particularly. So I like that the Free the Roots one has rosemary. A lot of people ask me, do I ever deep condition my locks? And no, I have never used something that says deep conditioner on it. All the times that I've washed my hair, I've just shampooed and then went about my day or sprayed with my moisturizer. However, this apple cider vinegar rinse has rosemary in it. So rosemary acts as a moisturizer, rosemary tea, sorry. It acts as a moisturizer for the hair, and for my low porosity hair, it really does penetrate my hair to where it feels moisturized after. So I love using the apple cider vinegar rinse because it not only cleanses, but it also moisturizes. So on the days that I feel like I do need that deep conditioner, and especially after a deep cleanse, then I'll use the apple cider then I'll use that rinse, and it does both in one. And as for my everyday moisture routine, I actually don't moisturize every single day. So in older videos, I would tell how I spray my hair almost every single day with distilled water. And even though I do use distilled water, I only use it on wash days when I'm trying to moisturize my roots and pop my locks, which I do on wash days. However, that's the only time that I really spray my hair with distilled water anymore. When I moisturize my hair, again, I don't have a set routine with this. I just wake up in the morning, my locks feel a bit dry. Then I whip out my Free the Roots moisturizing mist or hydrating mist, and I'll spray this all over my hair and all over my scalp. Once I spray it, I'll give my scalp a massage here for about a minute or 2, and then I'll just rub it into my hair. If I were to guess, on average, I'd say every 3 days, at least twice a week, I'll moisturize my hair and my scalp with the Free the Roots hydrating mist. I usually use lemon herb, but lately I've been using the pine one. And the reason I love these mists is because they're not heavy on my scalp. I realized I don't need heavy products on my scalp, hence why I stopped using oils on my scalp a long time ago. And since I stopped using oils directly on the scalp, it has helped my scalp be able to breathe. I, in the last year, have become an avid believer in minimal product usage. The least amount of products that you use and the more natural ingredients are in your products, especially when you have locks, which is, I think, is the most natural state that natural hair can be in, then you're better off. And your locks feel lighter, or at least mine do. They feel more healthy and they have more room to grow and flourish as they should. So I like mists. They're light. Even though I don't use direct oils, like, you know, oils by themselves on my scalp, the Free the Roots mists do have essential oils in them. So I'm not, I guess, completely oil free. I don't want to mislead anybody, because you can read the products for yourself. And I always leave the links in my description box. But I just wanted to disclose that. And then speaking of minimal products, I also started using a bar soap. Again, I used it before, but I used the wrong one. This time I got it right though, because I'm using a bar soap that is made to be a shampoo for hair, natural hair. The reason why I love bar soap as like a minimal product is because it reduces waste. Like, we take up so much product waste with our plastic bottles that our products come in, and I like that the bar soap is just, you can access it very quickly, you can use it very easily. It also lasts a long time. I use the bar soap for my hair and for my body. So the same bar soap that I'll use as my shampoo, you can always use it as your body soap, and it smells really good too. One thing that I've learned about locks within the past year that is just a bonus tip is that, isn't it crazy that people pay money to get their hair ombre, you know, from dark to light, but our hair does it on its own. I started to notice that, you know, my hair near the bottoms, it's looking a little light colors, like light brown near the bottom, and then as you travel upward, it, you know, my roots are dark. And I realized that when I started to look at other YouTubers who have locks, who have had their locks for a while, it does the same thing. So I'm thinking, like, it's probably because the older your hair is, the more it's been out in the sun. And I know that when I was a child, when in the summertime, if I was out in the sun a lot, my hair would turn a very light brown. And in the wintertime, it would be darker brown. So I think in some aspects my hair does that on its own, but a lot of people's hair probably does that too, and they don't even recognize it. But I just thought that was really cool. Other than that, that is all for my update. Please leave any questions that you have below that I did not answer, anything that I was not clear on and that you need me to expound upon. And again, I'll be happy to answer, always am. Leave any video suggestions. All right, and I hope to see you in the next one. But until then, I'm sending peace your way, love your way, and joy to you, your family, and your friends. All right, y'all. Peace.